It's my very, very pleasure to introduce Yaniv Bar-Dayan, Vulcan Cyber CEO and co-founder. Hi, Yaniv.
Hello,
Um,
Glenn.
Hello. Nice to see you again with us. You're going to talk with us about the ongoing paradigm shift from the world of traditional vulnerability management to the world of exposure management.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm very excited to open the seventh CyberRisk Summit, second for this year. Happy to see record-breaking participation from registrants here all around the globe and across our industry. I welcome you all. Feel free to engage in the comments, ask questions. We have enough people around here that are happy to engage. We have built quite a community around this summit that I feel very proud of. This time, I'd like to talk about something that is becoming more prevalent in our market under the big headline of exposure management. I think this is the first year where we're actually seeing as a company and throughout our customer base the actual movement to move past the concept of vulnerability management as a singular siloed program that drives particular outcomes towards one attack surface or on-prem or infrastructure environments, and extend it to what we see today as the center for proactive security, everything and anything around vulnerabilities, AppSec issues, cloud issues, misconfiguration, posture issues across all attack surfaces are the key and the center of a lot of our customers that are coming in now and are starting to work with us. The outcome or the reason that this is happening is something that we've been talking about for years, and this is the proliferation of tools out there across multiple attack surfaces that are becoming more prevalent within the modern enterprise. If we're talking about 10 years ago, we only scanned our on-prem environments. We usually cared only about our Microsoft patching, and probably that's it. The more advanced organizations also did a lot of things around AppSec and started buying tools around AppSec, but this is where it stopped. And today, as the enterprise become more digital, as our offerings and our services are become more digital, as our revenue streams are being driven not only by physical actions, but also, or mostly in some cases, by our digital footprint and our digital engagement with our customers and prospects, our job as security professionals is to find in every layer of the attack surface, from the network through the cloud, applications, code, to other services we're starting to consume like SaaS, or services we're starting to use like IoT, and understand the issues that might cause a breach. And the way to do that, especially for the vendors that are finding these vulnerabilities, is to gain expertise, to get the expertise in how to secure SaaS, to get the expertise in how to secure cloud, how to secure different versions of code, different types of applications. And we took upon ourselves, and this is what we believe the market is taking upon ourselves as we look at exposure management, is a broader sensor detached approach where companies, and not only us, but also analyst firms, eventually you all, people who are buying these products, understand that there needs to be an overarching category that takes the data out of all of these different silos, bring it together, creates context, and allow us to manage all of our proactive security actions in one place. The reality is that our attack surface is continuing to expand. We won't be able to stop it. We're going to continue and see more attack surfaces. And now we're starting to see a lot of organizations talking about AI, LLMs as another attack surface that comes in. Last year it was SaaS and cloud. But the outcome is every attack surface brings together vendors that are experts in detecting posture issues in the attack surface. The reality is that with more attack surfaces coming in, more tools are going to be onboarded by our companies in order to scan these attack surfaces. We need these tools. We need these vendors to focus on getting the expertise in these attack surfaces. But the outcome is siloed data, lack of context, hard operational or high operational burden because of these different UIs and different people we need to start attending to, and eventually growing risk. More assessment tools, more problems, but also just reality. Every operation, cross-enterprise operation that is being managed at scale today, and cybersecurity, especially proactive security, is not different, requires some kind of system of record, system of workflow, system of action to drive it forward. We have Salesforce in the CRM world. We have ServiceNow in ITSM. We should have something around exposure management, which is one of the key pillars of any security program. And we see the market responding to that slowly. We see different categories emerging. We're using Gartner terms here. There are similar terms from Forrester and others. One is CASM, cybersecurity asset management, the method or discipline to bring together asset data into one coherent asset inventory with all the different configuration and control data associated to it. One part of consolidating under the broader exposure management approach. VRM or UVM, unified vulnerability management, vulnerability risk management. It used to be called risk-based vulnerability management as well. Eventually, the discipline to bring together different vulnerability scanning outputs and prioritize them well. And lastly, now a more modern one. It used to be called ASOC, Application Security Orchestration and Correlation. Today, gained the name ASPM, Application Security Posture Management, consolidating and providing visibility into the AppSec program or code to cloud processes that will eventually lead to consolidation in that world. We believe that these are the first roots of a broader movement, the exposure management movement, that essentially wants to do something very simple. Get all of our posture data, all of our inventory data, all of our workflows, all of our owners into one place, very similar to what ServiceNow does for IT and what Salesforce does for our go-to-market teams, and provide a singular point of visibility and action to act on posture issues, vulnerabilities, misconfigurations, everything and anything that can lead to a breach. And as we look at these things converging together, we understand that there might be more categories that are going to jump in. I actually think it's the more expected thing that will happen. But secondly, eventually all of them will fall under the broader category of exposure management, and the organizations that will decide to go down this path will save, in our opinion, a lot of money, will gain very high return on investments on their time and on their budgets, and will be able to catch and solve 3 and even more problems under one platform. Eventually, this is what we've been talking about in the past 2 decades in security. We want to consolidate these processes. We want to create these platforms that are overarching and are feeding from the expertise of the vendors who are actually doing the detection and response, like what we did in the past 2 decades in the Security Operations Center with the SIM and SOAR platforms. The concept is simple. It doesn't matter what you want to consolidate. You can do it either program-based or in an overarching manner. What you need is a strong integration infrastructure that is scalable and allow you to connect to practically every relevant piece of information or data stream that is used by your enterprise. It could be your security data streams from your vulnerability assessment tools, your CSPMs, your application security tools, and so on, all the way to your inventories, CMDBs, code repositories, pipelines, everything that gives us data that is relevant to remediation and to managing the process of risk reduction is relevant under this exposure management umbrella. And we see the most innovative companies today starting to adapt to this approach, and we support it. We believe this is the way to go when it comes to handling and mitigating risks. I hope this makes sense to all of you. This is the big topic for us in 2024, and it's been a big topic for us for 2023. We see everyone under the sun practically starting to move towards this direction, and we see a lot of movement and a lot of thought around this. So I appreciate you listening to the opening session.